I think last coming one more weekend, I think we will complete your manual syllabus. But I will guide you few things you have to learn more. Okay, so don't skip that topic. I will guide you. Okay, so we having the what is test design technique. Okay, so this is also the one interview question, or we and this test design technique we have to also while doing the execution you have to follow this test design technique, or they will ask you what is the test design technique, and which test design technique you have used in your current project. So right, so it's not a possible check to every possible condition in your software application, right? So if someone will ask you to test your application, so we cannot test all the value, right? We cannot test all the like we having the 1 to 1 lakh data, right? And 1 lakh data we cannot do the validation, right? So we can pick the some random data as per the requirement and we can test it, right? So uh, testing technique help you to select a few test cases with the maximum possibility of the finding the defect, right? So we having the boundary value analysis. So what is the boundary value analysis? So whenever one field having the more limitation or some range or some boundaries, then we can go for boundary value analysis technique as per the following. Or as the same suggest the technique that define the testing of the boundaries for the specified range of this value. Like here in the uh, requirement document, we have written here 4 character. It will this field will accept only 4 character to 20 character, right? So this is the boundary value. So if you will exceed 21, it will give the error, right? So we already shown you, right? So uh, uh, login text, right? Only accept text will only accept mobile number and email ID. If you will write anything, then what will happen? We will get error message. So same thing as per you have to test this everything will be mentioned in your specification requirement document or functional requirement document or business requirement document, whatever the document you will get it. So this is the customer requirement. So 1 to 4 to 20 character it will accept. If you will exceed this, then it will be a invalid. You can see I am going to pass 3 character, so it will show the error message, right? I will exceed this 21, again it will show the error message. So you have to test as a positive and negative mindset you having the while doing the testing if you are doing any types of the testing. So we have to much concentrate about of negative part, right? Positive flow it will work, but negative flow it will not work, then we can lose many things. Like if you having the banking project, you do not test properly, right? Then what will happen? You will lose many things, right? Though it will impact on your business. So we have to be careful about of while doing the testing we should not miss anything. Another is your equivalent partition. So here whenever one field having number of the requirement, then we can choose the equal class partition or equivalence partition. So like here you username accept lowercase special char 4 char minimum and max 20 char, right? So this is the valid. So it will accept lower case, that is fine. A special char, okay, minimum 4 character must be there, maximum 20 character. So these are the valid value we have given here. But if you will use this, so this is your invalid, that is called equivalence partition. So someone will ask what is the boundary value analysis or equal partition, then you have to tell same the theory, and you can give the one example. If you having like a lowercase or a special char, or you can here also make the one possibility like how many a special char it will accept and which type of the a special char will accept, because we having the many special character, right? right? So I did not mention here, so you can mention here it will accept only two a special character, and it will accept ampersand, at the what it has dollar. That's it, only three special characters. So these are the possibility, just I have given one example to understand the things. So these are the possibility while doing the testing, you have to take care of everything. Okay, so one more question is there, what is the traceability matrix? Actually, this is the one types of the matrix, like we having the test summary, whatever we have done from starting to ending, right? So this data you have to send to your client, or you have to send to any others, third party, or any, or your high level of the management to complete test summary, right? So, or if you want to track any test cases or any modules wise, so we can able to do from here. Like this is the one type of the summary, and whatever we have tested, you can see, just you can understand, we have tested complete testing with Amazon application, right? So I have just we have I've done only few validation for login page or registration page, right? So not a only a small things we have just written over there, right? If we will do the complete testing of Amazon application, how many test cases, how many test scenario, as per the model we have to define everything. So what happened? So management, like top level of the management, or your business owner will ask you, can you share the complete testing coverage of the my application, right? So I want to see the report, or I want to see the how many defects we have found in this last release, or whatever the defects we have fixed right now, means all the summary we will there on your this traceability matrix. So this is the high level of document, so we are able to trace everything, as per the test case ID, or module wise, or test cases, or anything. So this is the complete document, that is called traceability matrix. So a traceability matrix is a document that correlates any two baseline document that require a many to many relationship to check the completeness of the relationship. It is used to track the requirements. And what happened, every modules we having the one document. So if you will join in the any company, so be having the one separate document site, okay? Or you can tell that is repository. So all the information you will get over there, like module 1 I have tested. What I can do, I will Got it, right? So why we use this traceability matrix? So they can ask you, I told you, right? Many people are asking, can you say the interview question? Interview question is for your practice. Okay. So understand the complete slavers. Any technology if you are learning, don't learn the things for the only you have to crack the interview, right? You have to understand the complete syllabus. So any interviewer will come and ask you the question, then you guys are having the very good knowledge for that subject, right? So they can ask anything, right? So we cannot, because same company might be tomorrow I having the one interview for Cognizant, right? So that guy is the same, like they have one interviewer or two interviewer is going to take my interview, and same question they cannot ask the another panel, because the panel is on person is different. Might be that person will not repeat same the question for the another thing, right? So we have to ready for complete syllabus, not for a specific question. Your specific question will help you how much you are prepared yourself for the interview. Take interview yourself after doing the preparation. Okay, so everything is important. Okay, so that's why we use this traceability matrix. What actually is there? So I want to show you that document. Let me share this document. So this is RTM. How we have summarize this all the things. So this is the BRD, business requirement document. You can see we having the B1, B2 and B3. So module name, login and logout, inquiry, fund transfer, and this is the application role, manager or customer, customer or manager or customer. So description. So description is there like a customer. So a customer can log in, the user login, and manager can log in the user login of the customer. So manager can also log in the customer login page. And second one, the inquiry, right? So customer can have the multiple bank account and he can view the bank balance account. So these are the requirements description. Got it, right? How we are going to summarize this? Just I'm going to tell you our fund transfer. So manager, customer. So here the roles is the manager or customer both. So customer can have a transfer fund, his own account, right, and destination account, or managers. So manager can transfer the fund for any. So here the manager, the involved manager will also involve, and customer will also involve for this modules. So now this is called BRD, business requirement. What do you meaning of D? uh, how you can say business requirement document. TRD, so technical requirement document. So here T1, T2, 3, sorry, T3. So here user ID must not be blank. This is the like requirement for how you can do the validation, right? Password must not be blank. If user ID and password is valid, then log in the application. Then this is the test cases. Okay, so these are the test cases. You can see this is your we are writing for test cases for business requirement and TD4, and we are going to write this test cases for verify login page, login user, or this is the one test cases, and this is the complete your you know RTM. So B1 technical requirement document test case ID. Just I have given one you know summary, but if you will go in the real time, everything you can do from the test management tool. Okay, so test management tool will take care of everything. Okay, so we having the folder inside this folder, and they while writing the test cases they are going to keep while doing the we have discussed about of your user agile process, right? So what happened, so when you will get the new requirement to do testing and all, So everything you will get in your user story, technical requirement document or business requirement document will be there. Then you have to understand the document. From there only you can create the test folder. Inside this test folder you can create a test cases. So everything you will get over there. So this is the one type of the summary. So same thing we have written here. Requirement ID, requirement type and description, test to design the specification, unit test cases. This depend upon which type of the test cases are there, but some test cases are there. User acceptance test cases, trace to test script, like that. Okay, how to create requirement traceability matrix and who will create this? So here my team manager will be there, or your leads are there, test lead are there to create this. So understand let's understand the concept of traceability matrix through the banking application project. On the basis of business requirement document or technical requirement document, tester start to writing the test cases. Let's suppose that the following tables are our business requirement document. Whatever I have shown you that test template, I will also send you, okay, that templates. Okay, so the scenario is the customer should be able to log in the banking website with correct password and user ID, and while manager should able to log in to the website through the customer login page. So whatever the test cases you are going to create, like I have shown you, right, for Amazon application. So you guys can also try to create a traceability matrix. How to you can create, or might we will get some your tester or your your lead will tell you can you create this document. So you guys are also able to create. Okay, so if you will do the practice. Okay, so this is okay. So okay, so QA team do not document the BRD and TRD. Also, some of the company use the functional requirement document, which are similar to technical requirement document. But the process of creating the might be you will not have all the document, but one document will be there where you will get all the requirements, and as per the requirement we can find the scenario, write the test cases, and you can do that. So our test cases, like just I have mentioned how to do that. So our test cases is verify login, and when user ID and password is entered, it should be login successfully. Identify the technical requirement document. Test case is verifying for our test cases technical requirement document, like requirement is T3 being verified. Note the technical requirement documents. So whatever I have shown you, same thing I have written here. Just you can go through once for how we have created, and you can try to create like 5 to 10 this RTM documents or scenario, or whatever I have given that example. So identify the business requirement for which TR technical requirement is verified. Note that the business requirement is, so same thing, whatever we have discussed, same thing, just we have documented. Understand, read, and try to create, means try to implement whatever we are learning. Okay, so what is the advantage of that? So advantage is that, so we cannot miss anything while creating this TRD. If you are going to miss anything, we are able to find the missing requirement, or you did not test, or anything is missing. So it confirm 100% test coverage. So we have completed 100% test coverage of my application. It highlights any requirement missing or document inconsistencies. So it's overall the defect or execution status with the focus on the business requirement. It helps in the analyzing and estimating the impact of the QA teams, and work with the respect revisiting or reworking on the test cases. Might be you are going to something miss, so we can rework on that, and we will try to achieve our 100% test coverage. Okay, so test execution and result analysis. So in this phase, one will follow the following process for execution: conducting the sanity testing. So I told you, right? So this is the one, also the part of test execution, means after defining your test cases, so understanding the requirement with developer or business analyst, but mostly 99% you have to understand the requirement from the developer, because the developer who is going to develop the application or who is going to changes the code, you're in the same user story, you are there, so developer know better, all the functionality, because he is going to do the changes, right? He knows then functionality, then he is going to work. Then you have to connect with the developer, understand the requirement, then define the test cases. Test cases definition is different, you have created or you can define the test cases. Then you have to find the particular test data. So I have given one example, right? You have to validate customer ID, right? So you this is the verify customer ID. Then you have to find the multiple test cases for customer ID. So when I search, in the search box of the customer ID, I am able to find the specific customer for all the information, right? So this is the one test cases, that is for positive flow. Second test cases, you have to verify invalid customer data, right? So if you will search invalid ID, you are not able to find this, right? So again, verify customer fields, right? So whatever the customer field or registration field, I can tell, our registration page. So name field or mobile number field, right? So these are the field we have to, email ID fields we have to validate. So this all the possibility you have to make, in that scenario, right? So when you are going to create a data for the customer, right? How to create the data? So I can say many company having the, because uh, only one times manual testing we have to do, and after, you know it will move in the regression, and regression 95% we are going to do automation. Not, I will tell you 95%, 99%, because we don't have a time, right? You have a only 2 week sprint, and you have to execute 100 test cases or 200 test cases. Are you able to execute manually? No, we cannot. It is not possible. That's why automation is required, right? Why they are looking that, why the company is looking for you having the very good automation skill set. So manual is also important while you are going to do new requirement from your application or your, anything like, while doing the work, right? So you have to do manually. Manual completed, then next release, some changes are there in the functionality. So might be some columns are there in your database, and that column is not required. But if I will delete that column, that column was optional. So next release, the requirement is that column is not required. I want to delete that column. Developer is deleted that column, right? So you have to also test the application, right? If you will not test the application, how I can find if deleted something is deleted? It is not impacting in our functionality or application. If it will impact, then our production, you know it will impact of my business. So are you able to execute 200 test cases manually? No, we cannot. What you have to do, you can run your test automation, and you can find the report. If I am getting 90% or 80% also my test cases is passed, so there is no impacting on our application. I think you guys are able to understand what is the, benefits of the testing or profile of the testing, and how much it is important, right? So we have to focus on your testing a skill, how testing profile is working, and second part is your automation, right? So automation is very important, and I can say after 4 to 5 year in testing profile also the artificial intelligence will enter. I mean, means right now they are trying to move, like, uh, the client is looking for in the one sort. I don't want anything, everything will execute and will get the output, right? So please, we have to work on our programming skill set, in the future if you want to survive in your IT sector. So please work on your programming a skill. Okay, so in the future might be whatever do we are going to do, because most of the companies also not using manual at all. Okay, what he can do if what they are going to do, they are using Cucumber framework and writing the test scenario over there, executing manually and doing parallelly automation. Got it right? So I'm not going to tell you should not having the knowledge of manual if you don't have, because some of the application are very complicated. We are not able to automate. But in the future, artificial intelligence will automate that scenario also. Okay, so in the future, we having only automation in IT sector. There is no manual task. Okay, but you have to you having the concept of the manual also. Got it right? So that's why everything we are able to do that. Okay, how this all the profile is going to work. So here some of the test cases, even in my project also, we are not able to validate, we are not, that automation is not visible in some of the scenario, like some of the models are very complicated, so we are not able to automate. So this test we have to execute manually. So in this page one will follow the following process for execution: conducting the sanity testing, or proceeding with the functionality and regression testing. I already told you, right? These are all the types of the testing. Conducting the retesting and regression testing. In this phase, one will study, understand all the functional test cases and execute one by one on the application in order to find the actual value. After execution, we have to analyze the result, right? So if you are doing the manually, or if you are doing the manual execution, or automation execution, then you have to analyze your report, how your report is. In this page one will compare the expected value and actual value, and the given the result, pass and fail. So if expected value and actual value both are same and give the result is pass, if expected value and actual value both are not same and give the result is fail, if the test case is unable to execute, then result is block. Some of the I can see few things are block means we are not able to do, right? So in which scenario you will get this block a status? I can give you one example, like I'm working on one application, right? So these are the test result, like pass is there, fail is there. So this is very clear, it will match expected and actual will same, then it is pass. If it is not same, then it is fail. But where is this blocked? What happened? I'm working on the some modules, and this modules I need some test data from my application. Okay, but this application team, one application team or developer are there, is going to do some major changes of this application, and this application is blocked or down. Too big, this application will down, right? So I don't have a test data, then how to test this application? So this is my block, so status is block. Just I have given one example. So your scrum master will ask you why your user story is blocked, then you have to tell this is the reason, that's why my user story is blocked now. But in the coming release I have to create the data and I have to work in the coming release. So that is called your block status. Okay, so that thing we have learned, right? So what is the traceability matrix and execution flow, and what is the status while going to do execution on your test cases. So we having the bug tracking report. Okay, so I already shown you, right? I think I already shown you in the first classes. So let me, I want to remind once. Okay, So this is the customer expectation. Okay, so you are reading the or you are watching or you know already this application. So this page must be look like this. Okay, so here one checkbox is there or your text box is there and your checkbox is there. So here confirm and this. So this is the customer expectation, but developer has developed this code and they will deploy to the testing environment and you are the tester and you are going to test this, right? You are going to test this. So as per the customer requirement be having this page, but when you are going to test you can see this is the missing, right? Here these two things are missing. So actual and expected is not matching, right? So this is called your defect. So this is called your minor defect. I will tell you the severity and priority. Okay, so that is also important. So this is the minor defect. Our application is not going to shut down and all. This is not a critical defect. Only customer is confused here if they will work because this is the confirm and Facebook is not displaying. So this defect will found, then how to raise the defect or what is the defect life cycle. So this is the another interview question. Got it right. So what is the defect life cycle? So this is the defect we found. I have given one more example. So I think this is or you are testing this. Actually I did not remove anything here. Just I have given you found the some defect here. Or if you will hit the enter of the Amazon application, this accounts and list is not displaying or it is not working or anything. It is actual and expected is not matching. Then how to raise the defect and what is the defect, right? Or some the people are going to tell you this is the bug. Okay, you can use any name, defect or bug. Okay, so what is the defect life cycle? Let me, yeah, so that is called bug tracking or defect life cycle. So we will see this. Okay, what is bug or defect? So a bug is a sequence or outcome of the coding faults or some mistakes by the developer, or a defect is a variation or deviation from the original business requirement. So when a tester execute the test cases, he might come across the test result which is contradictory to the expected result. So this variation in the test result is referred as a software defect. So this defect or variation are referred by the different names in the different organization like issue, problem, defect or incident. So what is the common name you can tell the defect? Okay, in the organization word you can tell the defect. Okay, so defect is your common name, but you can use the issue, problem, defects or incidents. Okay, how to report this bug to the developer? I already told you, right? We having the one tools. Unfortunately in my system I am not able to install my Jira test management tool. So you guys having the one 5D big time and we have almost cover all the important point, but please try to learn, like one tools are there and just you can, if you are not able to do practice also no issue, just you can watch once. Okay, Jira, how Jira defect management tools is working. So this is the complete navigation. Okay, you have to only understand how you can raise the defect and all. I will send you some link also for YouTube channel. Okay, so just because they will ask you definitely in your interview what you have used, what tools you have used for test management tools, right? So you can just complete this Jira. Okay, please mention in your resume also, and this is the question they will ask you, and they will ask you how to raise the defect, right? So if you are using any tools even in a Rally, so Rally is also one defect management tool. If you are able to get this uh, you know tutorial I will search today also. So here the process are same, but the every organization using the different tools. Okay, so how to raise the defect? Let me close this necessary. I have opened this. Okay, so this is your defect life cycle. uh, okay, so just a step by a steps you have to do. I have shown you right in the one actual and expected page where the requirement was deviating, right? Then you found that defect and how to raise the defect, right? So you have to, while reporting the bug to developer, or if your bug report should contain the following information. So you will get defect id, or sometime it is called incident. Okay, sometime it is called incident or defect id. Some id will be there, incident number or issue number, right? So every company having the, that is called your unique identification number of the defect, because in the test management tool we having the 100 defect. How to find this the specific defect? That's why this is generated by the tools only. So defect, you have raised the defect, so your defect id is def1012. Okay, this is generated. Then you have to describe, right? So I have shown you, right? So what you have to here describe, uh, confirm, and Facebook text was missing. You have to clearly tell to the developer. So version of the application, so some of the optional field is there. You can skip this. If you are able to find, you will get this all the information, okay, in your FRS document. So if you know, that is fine. If you don't know, skip this, no issue. You have to write, you have to uh, you know uh, take the screenshot. Okay, here you have to explain details to the developer. Hey, like these are the steps why I'm going to validate, and you can take this a screenshot, and you can attach that a screenshot, and the developer can reproduce the defect, right? So developer is able to understand, you know all whatever you have explained. So you have a clear message to the developer, so developer is able to understand. You can write a step by step. This is the actual and this is the expected, and this field is missing, or this text is not missing, or this logic is not working as per expected. So you have to give the clear information to the developer, then developer is able to understand that. Okay, and you have to take the screenshot also, right? So date, you will get the when you have raised the defect. You have some reference, so where you provide the reference to the document, like what happened. So you can also attach with a screenshot with reference, right? Design architecture, maybe a screenshot or error help to understand the defect, right? So you have to give the some reference, or might be what happened, this developer, why we should give to the this reference to the developer. This developer is not develop this functionality, right? This developer is not develop this functionality. He is new with this functionality. How he will understand? You can attach some document, or so he is able to understand the how what the logic behind of this, you know that code, right? So might be this developer is not same who is develop this, right? So you have to give the some reference. De- Detected by, so your name should be there, who you found the defect. Then you have to, your name is also there, a status of the defect. So this is your a status. We can show the defect, like it is already, I will tell you, some of the status are there, that is called defect life cycle. So I will tell you this. Okay, open, close, reopen. Okay, right? So I will show you this. So fixed by, so might be the developer is fixed, so he will also assign the name, date, close. So everything will, you will do the retesting. If defect it is working fine, who close this defect, your name must be there. So date when you have, retested, and defect closure date. Okay, severity. And this is a very important question, guys. So what is the severity and priority? So I can give you one example. Okay, so that two things are missing, right? But it is not impacting much, right? So this is called your low severity. Severity means how much impact on your application. It is defined the how much impact in your application. So this is the low severity. Priority means P1, P2, P3. Okay, so P1 means highest. What happened? Uh, Server is completely not working. You can see last month I think Gmail was down, right? I ping you in the chat, WhatsApp chat. Gmail was down. That is called high severity and high priority. It is too much impacting because of this Gmail. Many things is, work is blocked. Got it right? So this is called your high impact. So so we can raise here, we can write here S1 and P1. This is the high severity, high impact, and priority is also high, because as soon as possible we have to fix this issue. Otherwise we can lose many business. Huge loss will be there on the business, right? Right. So this is the interview question, and you have to also select here. So here we having the S1 like S3 and P3 because it is not impacting much. As in my scenario, I'm going to tell you. Got it right? So this is you have to define here severity, which describe the impact on the defect on the application, and priority, which is related to defect fixing urgency, and severity priority could be high, medium, low. I told you right, P1, P2 and P3, S1, S2 and S3. Okay, that is define your high, medium and low based on the impact urgency at which that defect should be fixed respectively, right? So this is, how you can raise the defect. So what is the defect life cycle? Okay, so how to raise the defect, what is the defect, right? So you can don't just speak, theory. You have to give the one real time example. Hey, this is the one pages are there. If some interviewer will ask to you what is the defect, then you can just draw one diagram and username and password, and one is your expected and one is your actual and expected, and you can show something is missing here. Then you can tell them, yeah, this is not matching, so this is the defect. And how we can raise the defect, you have to tell all the story, right? This is, high priority, severity and all the things defect, I am using a Jira tool by raising the defect and all. Then you have to describe everything. Then one more question is there, what is the defect life cycle? Defect life cycle, I raise the defect, then it will assign to the developer. Developer will open that defect, right? That is called open stage. Developer is open that defect, that is called open. Okay, then developer is working on that, he's fixed the defect, right? Again it will come to us, right? So it will come to us. If everything will work fine, then we can close the defect or fixed, right? So these are the status. So defect life cycle or bug life cycle is the specific set of a state that bugs goes through the from the discovery or defect fixation. So the number of a state that defect goes through the varies from the project to project, right? So again I told you, right? So every project or every company are using might be different ways, but concept are same. So new, when the defect is new to log and posted to the first time, it is assigned to the status is new. So you are going to find the new defect, then a status is new. You whom you are going to assign once the bug is posted by the tester. Lead to the tester approve the bug and assign to the bug to the developer team. So that is called assigned status. Whenever the developer accept the defect, so developer is okay with that. This is the defect, and is as accepted that, and he's working on that. That is called your open status. One defect is rectified and developer will set the status fixed, and it's also called as rectified. Okay, so this is your rectified. Okay, so this is your fixed. After fixing this, again it will come for pending retest, right? Developer is fixed that defect, again it is showing the pending the retest, and they will assign to someone who is going to, who is the tester or who already assigned the developer, then same guy, same person, he will assign to them. So once the defect is fixed, then developer give the particular code for the retest the code, and tester, since the testing remains pending from the tester end, the status assigned to the pending request. Then again the developer, sorry, tester will come and they going to retest. The tester goes and retesting the code at the stage to check whether the defect is fixed by the developer or not, and changing the status is retest, because the all the status is, we have to track, because we cannot fix our defect in the one day. It will go for, might be, it will take, we having the 2 week sprint, right? Might be going to take 1 week for doing all the stuff. Sorry. The tester retest the bug. After that it got fixed by the developer. If there is no bug detected in the software, then bug is fixed and a status is assigned to be a verified. Might be some, it is bug is not fixed, so still we having the defect. Then if the bug is persist even after the developer has fixed the bug, the tester changes the status is reopened, and once again the bug goes through the life cycle. So same thing it will be repeat again. It we have to reassign to the developer again, it will work on that. Again tester will do the retest. Okay, then close. If the bug is no longer existent, tester assign to the close. Sometime what will happen, duplicates defect. So if the defect is reopened, or defect corresponding the same concept of the bug, and the status is changed to the duplicates. So sometime what happens, so you also assign the same defect and another tester is also assigned the same defect, so that is called your duplicates. Or sometime what will happen, you raise the defect but developer is not going to tell you, hey, this is not a defect, please try to retest and let me know, because in my side I'm able to find my application is working fine. So that is called your rejected. Your defect is rejected because developer is not accepted, because he is going to tell you this is not a defect, please retest and let me know. Def rate. So this is the one important, you know sometime in the interview they will ask you what is the def rate stage. Okay, this is, okay, so this is the interview question. Actually I told you, right, learn your complete, you know all the things, you having the proper knowledge, but some of the highlighted interview question, so they will ask you what is the def rate. So what is the def rate stage? So if the present bug is not a prime priority, and if it is expected to get fixed in the next release, then a status is deferred to assign as a bug. What happened means, deferred means some of the functionality is not yet developed and you have tested, right? I don't know this functionality will develop or change the code in the next release, and you told to the developer, hey, this is the defect, that is called your defect. Then developer will give you the message, hey, this functionality will going to will going to develop in the next release, and still you have tested that, or you have, that is called your defect stage, not a bug. One more status is there, not a bug. It, if it does not affect the functionality of the application, then a status assigned to the bug, is not a bug. Sorry. So this is, all this is, a very, very important interview question. So coming session, we will explore what is the severity and purity. Please, guys, try to work on that. Then you will get the confidence. The people who is trying to get the job as a manual testing, please try to work